We are back once again with another classic style side by side. It's been a while since we did one of these.
Very exciting to be back at it.
It's nice to be back. And then one of the reasons for that is that we haven't been in the same room together or the same city for
a long time.
Almost a year.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Almost a year. So we're back. We're back. And so today we've got Altbier. We've got two different Altbiers and a Munich Dunkel. We're going to compare these. They're like similar.
Yeah, both from the same country. They're going to have some relatively similar color overlap potential. But it was fun. We got to get an Altbier from the source, Uerige Altbier, and then we were able to get something from Wayfinder, which, God bless, you are very, very, very close to.
Yeah.
So they're Altbier, and they just do German style as well. That's no need to say more about that.
They're just so good with lagers and German lagers in particular. And I feel like it was a lucky find also to find the kind of OG Uerige Altbier, because you often will find that stronger one, the sticky. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. The sticky or the doppel sticky. You'll find those every now and then, and they're like 8% alcohol or something like that.
And this was cold stored.
Yeah.
So that was the other fun thing.
At least it was when we got it.
Right. That's fair enough.
When we got it. But.
Which is good. That's all they can do, right? So, all right, let's crack these open.
Yeah,
don't you get the swing top?
Boom.
So Uerige is clocking in at 4.7% ABV. So Wayfinder's Fortuna is clocking in a little higher, about 5.5. And then
is that still within BJCP style?
It is. That is the high end. So BJCP range is 4.3 to 5.5 for Altbier.
This guy's got it all in his head.
And then Ayinger Altbairisch Dunkel, another great classic example. I believe this one's just 5 on the nose, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 5 exactly. Yep.
You remember all the BJCP data and also lots
we try and remember
commercial example data. I mean,
we really try.
It's really
so
impressive. Really impressive.
We are doing our best. All right, awesome. Let's dig into these. Why don't we try the Altbiers? Why don't we try those first and see how those kind of differ between an American interpretation and a German one, and then we'll get into the Dunkel, and then we'll see what we can dig out from there.
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right, so the Uerige.
Yeah.
Little oxidized.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's got a little bit of an apple character to it.
Definitely got a little toasty.
Yeah, it's got this kind of artificial like grape or berry, which is another sign of oxidation.
It's definitely got that classic papery kind of cardboardy thing going on.
Yeah, as far as I know, I'm anosmic to that. I've never been able to smell it. I don't understand what people are saying when they say that. I've literally just taken the like brew essence liquid and poured it in, and it smells like nothing.
Oh, wow.
And everybody smells it, and they're like, this is like rancid paper now because it's not diluted by anything.
So trans 2-nonenal, the Cicerone program kind of off-flavor version of oxidized, you cannot smell that.
Not to my knowledge, no. I've reached out to Araxa, and I have instructions on how to tell if I'm actually anosmic. So we'll wait for those results. This is bitter. This has got a pretty firm bitterness to it. So it's got that dry finish you'd expect, but yeah, there definitely really is this almost like it's bitter, but like the oxidation almost gives it this impression of like almost, it's not tannic, but it's the impression that you're getting because it's just kind of stale.
Right. It does have firm bitterness, like quite firm bitterness. It's got like that toasty, bread crusty, maybe a touch of nuttiness in the malt. It's got, I would say a little bit of apple.
Yep,
esters,
it's got that apple ester.
Right?
I really like
lagered.
Right, but some of them it's an ale yeast, but it's cold conditioned. So you're gonna get them a little bit lower, and I think it's kind of optional, like for
and the cold conditioning doesn't like make the esters go away. So
it's just less of a potential formation. Yeah.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at there was just to say that like it's fermented with a fairly clean ale yeast.
Yep, and it's at lower temperatures.
Right, at low temperatures, which keeps it a fairly clean fermentation. And then it's also lagered, right, cold aged. And alt means old.
That's right.
So in German, right, and what that means is this is made in the old fashion or old style of making beer in Germany, which was to make ales.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is an ale. I don't know if the term is used much anymore, but it used to be referred to as a hybrid beer because it was fermented with an ale yeast, but at low temperatures and then lagered. So had a lot of aspects of both lagers and ale.
Yep. Yeah. It's definitely been grouped together with Kölsch in that way.
Right. With Kölsch and also California Common.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So now we're trying Wayfinder, their version.
Should be much fresher.
Yeah. And a lot clearer, kind of in that bronzed orange color.
A little paler too.
Yep. A little paler. And that could be a sign of age, adding on some color, maybe a little bit of some kind of chill haze that's formed over time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
This is like, so now all that toasty stuff you were talking about that was maybe dancing in the background, this is like smelling like toasted almonds and toasted, not just wheat bread, but like multigrain bread. It's like very complex.
I get like a pumpernickel, toasted pumpernickel bread.
Exactly.
Almost, yeah.
And there's no presence of any kinds of esters or any kinds of those fruity notes that we were getting.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, yeah, quite bitter. I think less bitter than this one.
Yes, but less bitter.
But still firm bitterness. Still, the balance on this one is quite dry and leans bitter.
Yeah.
This one, pretty even.
It's pretty, yeah, this has got a pretty even balance. That's quite good.
Really beautiful malt.
Yeah. And there's even some like woody, like maybe a noble hop character. There's something kind of woodsy about it or something floral, something, I'm feeling in nature here.
Yeah. Yeah.
With that hop character. It's nice and supportive.
Little earthy, little floral. Definitely that noble hop vibe.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool.
That is a lovely beer.
Yeah, it's quite the stark contrast when it comes to that. But
honestly, those are my expectations when I have Wayfinder.
Yeah, exactly. And when you
always need it,
and when you find beer like that, unfortunately, even in the cold storage.
Also my expectation.
Okay, cool. Now we're going to be checking out Ayinger Altbairisch Dunkel. So just a touch darker, still like perfect clarity though. Yeah. You can see right through it. It's got this like nice ruby hue to it as well. It's a very gorgeous beer. Yeah, more like the bread is still just, it's got this depth to it. It's this really deeply toasted and rich bread. There's little touches of a light chocolate thing kind of dancing in the background too.
I almost want to go back and change my comment now and be like, this one smells like pumpernickel.
Yeah.
This is dark. This is like dark, right? Like, when you go to every now and then, I don't know, I love those weird little, I think they're German style or Eastern European, super dark, like square pieces of bread.
Oh, yeah.
In the cellophane.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I was like really intense pumpernickel or whatever. That's what this smells
I've just had those for the first time when our friend Anna Deep was visiting. I took him to a place like that and we had it, and it's intense. Just to have pumpernickel on its own is a lot.
Right. Like the real deal kind. Yeah. It's like, it can be so intensely like this beer.
Right. Yeah, there's little touches of caramel too. This is what the style is supposed to be. It's supposed to be just a showcase of malt. Usually the vast majority of the base malt is going to be Munich malt, obviously. Right. And there's not really any hop character to speak of. It's still in pretty good shape, actually. I'm not getting any dark fruit, oxidation or anything like that. But again, like I'd have to rely on you for that.
Yeah, it's a little oxidized, not as intensely as this one. I don't get a lot of fruit though anyway.
Yeah, I don't get any of the malt shift character. It's hanging in there, I guess.
It's definitely balanced a little more sweet.
Yes. Yeah, because this only just has enough bitterness to make it make it drinkable, so it's not just cloying. Right. But when in the aftertaste, it's malt forward, it's smooth. Yep. But still attenuated. It's got those impressions of sweetness that we're always talking about. That because if you think about all these flavors, those are sweet things. Those are Maillard characteristics. That browning that you get on toast. Those are the things that give you an impression of sweetness. But this isn't like cloying. Like this doesn't taste like dessert. It just has this sense of that.
It's got like that kind of. This is a great example of a beer. I love to say this whole thing about like this real sweetness and the perception of sweetness and not letting your brain, your lazy brain just wants to make these associations, right? It's just a pattern recognition machine. So you smell a little caramel in here and stuff and it's boom, this must be sweet. I want to almost be like, it smells sweet, but you can't smell sweetness. Right. You can only taste sweetness.
Exactly.
It's one of the primary flavors. When you taste this, you have to... When you put it in your mouth, you need to be really cognizant of the fact that it's actually pretty dry, even though it has flavors that make you think sweet.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we should probably just look at trying to compare these two, the second two that we tried, because again, that one's just kind of in really rough shape. Yeah. So some things that are noticeable, any noticeable hop character, you're probably leaning more towards something like Altbier, a little bit more balanced towards malt or impressions of sweetness. You're looking at Dunkel, and just in the bitterness. That's the really big one. I think that's going to be the really big. Those other ones, maybe you could, they're secondary, but primary is if you're getting something that's bitter and dry, like there's no doubt.
Right. Yeah. That is one of the big highlight differences that you should normally find with these styles, which is that alt beer is just going to be bitter, firmly bitter, and maybe even have some hop aroma and stuff, whereas the Munich Dunkel pretty much never will have that aroma. It'll usually lean a little sweeter.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of the highlight. And I've never heard of this showing up, like this comparison showing up on the certified Cicerone exam or anything.
But also, these are just good tastings to do so that you understand a style, right? Exactly. It doesn't have to be like, well, this is just in the... That's a great reason to watch these, and that's what lots of people have been saying that they've been really helpful for. Yep. But you don't have to do that. We're going to do some that are really close. Some are maybe a little bit further apart that are a little easier. It's all education at the end of the day, and that's what we're trying to do.
Totally, yeah. And I think we originally conceived of this series as let's help people pass the certified Cicerone exam by doing ones they might see on there. But you quickly get out of that range of possibilities. And so now, you could see this on the advanced exam.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because these are different enough and you could potentially see beers that are from the same country, which is a little less common for certified. But also, ever since we started putting these out, people have been reaching out and they're just like, I've never really thought about that style, or I forgot about that style, or I really want to just try that side by side, because people just want to learn more about beer too. Like we're definitely here and we are laser focused on a lot of Cicerone stuff, but it all trickles out there.
Totally true. Yeah. These videos are going to be great for learning about styles in general and how they all obviously compare. That's the whole point. But once you understand all these different styles and how they relate to each other, you can really triangulate in on, I guess you're just forming patterns for understanding those styles and how they relate, and how they compare in a broad sense.
Yeah. Well, because you're starting with a style, and then as you learn more, you just think of it as like a web. And then all of a sudden you're just able to look around this web you've created and you see all the relationships where all these things connect. And then it all just honestly just starts to make more sense. Like that's the big part of it, because styles is a huge thing. There's a whole organization that's pretty much just dedicated, the BJCP, to learning styles and how they're brewed. So there's a lot to it. So it can be overwhelming, but we hope we're bringing some knowledge to you that is helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So Altbier versus Munich Dunkel, made with fairly similar malt profiles, generally speaking.
There's going to be some similarities. Munich Dunkel is usually going to have more Munich malt, it depends on and they can add some darker ones for color, because there's some Dunkels that are darker than this. Right. And then the base is going to be Pilsner malt. And then there could be some other, potentially some Vienna, but a lot of that color is going to come from some darker malts.
Got it. Okay. So interesting. So it's mostly the hop factor.
That's a big part of it.
Changes these. The fact that Altbier is fermented with an ale yeast and Munich Dunkel is fermented with a lager yeast. I can't say I'm so familiar with Altbiers. I haven't been there and had them in person, but I don't get a lot of fruit usually. This isn't very fruity, so they're both fairly clean fermentation.
No, they're very well made in that regard. But grab some of these if you see them. They're awesome, especially if people are brewing these at your favorite craft brewery. Support them when they make alt beer, because it's an underrated style. I would love to see it more. And if you do find these, let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know if you agree with what we're saying or if you're getting something different. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be trying to release more content. So make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.